Right, Ramsey show ending. After show beginning. After show beginning. Okay, so we got sound, so we are all good. Alrighty. Oh, Dave and Rachel out there. Alright, everybody in the chat. Sorry, some quick housekeeping here on the YouTube. Come on, if it would load. There it is. Alrighty. So on today's Ramsey show. No, this is the Ramsey show. This is the Ramsey show after show. And I am Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And if you want other financial content, you just scroll down on my page, youtube.com/coachstevemoney. Just scroll down to where it says answering your financial questions with Ramsey Solutions Coach Steve Money. That's my weekend stream. I do that at 4 p.m. Eastern Time on both Saturday and Sunday. The music playlist has 9, soon to be 10 Ramsey adjacent songs on there. So listen to those if you're interested. And also this show, the Ramsey Show After Show. This is number 375. How about that? Alrighty, and 2 of those songs that are in that playlist would be the ones I'm going to do right now. This one's about Dave's co-host today. I guess you know Dave, and you may know that he is a father. Google tells me he has 3 children. This song's about one of his daughters. Denise and Danielle work from out of public life. But Rachel wanted crowds and cameras, face to face with those facing strife. Lots of calls like that today. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel cruise for good advice that she learned in her youth. Talks about friends when she shows us how to be millionaires. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel cruise. The Ramsey Show, the Rachel Cruise Show, where you can see her. That's not enough, then you are so lucky. The Smart Money Happy Hour. She hosts it with George. They have some drinks and a laugh. She wrote 3 kids' books, Smart Money, Smart Kids. And I'm glad for what I have and where I am. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel cruise for good advice that she learned in her youth. Talks about friends when she shows us how to be millionaires. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. Sprinkler water bottle back sponsoring the show. Hosts it with George. They have some drinks and a laugh. She wrote 3 kids' books, Smart Funny Smart Kids. And I'm glad for what I have and where I am. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, for good advice that she learned in her youth. Talks about friends when she shows us how to be millionaires. Know yourself, know your money, love your life, not theirs. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, mentioning conspiracies, mentioning Winston. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, mentioning Winston, mentioning Target. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz, mentioning Winston, mentioning Tesla. And I guess that's why we all love Rachel Cruz. Alright. And of course the show host today, back from Dave-cation since Monday. He's been back starting this past Monday. And let's give this one a shot. Been a while since I've sung this one. This is the very first Ramsey-centric song that I wrote and stole the music from Ed Sheeran and vocal stylings by the Biebs. Like all plans, it starts with step 1. $1,000 emergency fund. Step 2, you pay off all your debt. Except mortgage, we don't do that yet. So pay off your consumer debt. Every one of the charges, from smallest to largest. Baby step 3 is next. Full emergency fund of expenses. You stay gazelle intensive. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him. I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, that's why I coach, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, then you should do Dave's baby steps. Now step 4 is when you can take a breath. Go, let's gazelle and invest. Step 5 is to save for your kid. No student loans at all for college. 6 is to pay off your home. Step 7, build your wealth and don't keep it all yourself. And you've lived like nobody else. And now you get to live large, and now you get to give large. His name is Dave Ramsey, and this is his plan. And I hope to meet him, I admire the man. I've messed up in my life, but these steps have made it right. That's why I coach, that's why I coach, and why I host this YouTube show. If you don't like the way it's working out, you should do the baby steps. And if you want to have financial peace, you should do Dave's baby steps. Live from Cabot, Arkansas, it's the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. I'm your host, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. Market report. As you can see, NASDAQ barely hanging on there, being positive, but still positive. And so S&P leading the charge for the day, which is not the normal. NASDAQ has normally been beating the S&P on a regular basis. And I believe, I should look this up so I don't keep on saying approximately, but I think it's something like 15 out of the past 20 years, NASDAQ has beaten the S&P 500. So if you're one of these people that is not in to manage funds and you're only doing index funds and you're only doing an S&P 500 index, consider some NASDAQ, at least a little bit in there. Like try 10% or something like that, just so you can see what it does. And then when you you look at it and then you find out you may want to put more into it. So just a thought. So you're not leaving as much money in the table. So the NASDAQ's been beating the S&P. And of course, managed large cap funds can easily beat the NASDAQ index. So even doing the NASDAQ index, you're leaving money on the table. But that'll be a story for a different day. What else we got here? Oh, let's check the earnings calendar. Accenture and Kroger reporting tomorrow. Oh, and see, that's why all the top, the most followed single stocks on the Google, all down today. And the most down is Meta. All right, and Meta has been trending up recently pretty well. And so that's a change from that. But perhaps a correction, like everybody says. When it goes down, I don't know. How do you know that the correct amount isn't when it's higher and that this is the aberration? Let's see. And that's when you start getting into financial theory and such. Let's see. Just looking to see if there's any fun stories. U.S. cities, most homes under 200,000. Oh, let's check that out. Everybody wants to know about where your inexpensive homes are. And that there are none for one. Oh, fine. Let's allow this page to run their ads. Fox trying to, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to do that. And this page. Where is that? Oh, refresh. There we go. Have to refresh it. There we go. I unblocked it, didn't I? Yeah, all right. Okay, there we go. All right. Study shows cities where potential buyers have the best chance at finding an affordable home. And of course, 200,000 isn't affordable for some people. That's why you got to get your baby steps in order as soon as possible. Oh, let's see. Is it gonna be a list, or is that? There we go. A nice little list for me in big print. Lauderdale Lakes, Florida. I'm assuming that's around Fort Lauderdale somewhere. Percentage of listings under $200,000, that will be 85%. So, all right, and also Lauderhill, a lot of Lauder areas, 70% under 200,000. Akron, Ohio, OH. Was talking about that in the chat today. Somebody was complaining about the cost of living in Massachusetts. I was like, try the Midwest, move to America. Absolutely. Let's see, where downtown Akron, Ohio skyline. All right. Never been to Akron. Did see the Football Hall of Fame in NFL Football Hall of Fame in Canton though. Canton. 70% listed under $200,000. Detroit is in everything they say and no place that I'd rather be. 64% under $200,000, and Detroit has been improving. Like 10 years ago, I think it was in really rough shape over there. Rochester, New York. Hey, it's on the coast. How about that? So you could just move to Rochester then, away from Massachusetts, and move to Rochester, New York. How about that? Niagara Falls. You would think that they would that would be pricey, especially all these places. I wonder if all this is like owned by the falls or the city, something like that, or if any of this is housing, where you would have such a great view around there. Anywhere, geez. Anywhere over here you would have a nice view either way. Fun times. Never been to Niagara Falls. Albany, Georgia, 64% of listings are under $200,000. Lansing, Michigan, the state up north, coming in hot with two different cities. Rockford, Illinois, Cleveland, another one for Ohio. Midwest is what I'm talking about, people. 66% under 200,000. You don't have to look far. You just have to not be on the coast and not be in those specific cities or states. 61% under $200,000. All right. So that's cool. Let's see. Electronic shelf labels following other supermarkets. I thought they already had those. No, I guess not. They're not. They weren't. They didn't have the what's that? The VR code on it. Is that what it's called? Hashtag dementia. But yeah, where you can just scan it. Elon Musk doing Elon Musky things. Hollywood Arby's, nope. Following the minimum wage hike, and in California they up the minimum wage, and then they think that's not going to affect anything. Businesses are going to close rather than pay that extra money, or they have to hike up prices of their items, and then in that case they may have less patronage, and that may make them close the doors as well. And then the people working there, they're not helped then at that point, because then they got to get a new job. Bad manager for California. It's the government, bad manager. Paramount's failed merger talks. Why the Fed might need to get on with it and cut rates. Well, I guess everybody has an opinion about stuff like that. Nvidia up 3.51% today. Sirius up 4.53%. So there is some good stuff in here, and that's probably why the NASDAQ is like barely up instead of being negative. Otherwise it'd be negative without stocks like those. What is the other one? Palantir. That's medical. That's medical, and they bumped up a lot during the pandy. Did that. Okay. And so now let's check the rest of the market around the world. Europe looks fine. Asia looks mostly up. And currencies, the euro up against the US dollar, the US dollar up against the Japanese yen, the British pound low, bloody quid up against the US dollar, the Canadian dollar up against the US dollar, and the Australian dollarmite up against the US dollar. What crypto looking like? Bitcoin falling off some more. Thought it was gonna, let's see, what do we want? Let's do a year. So I thought it was gonna like stabilize in here somewhere, but it just seems to keep dropping there after the recent halving. And so good luck to those people. Not advised. And futures, we got NASDAQ being the most up as far as the after hours trading so far today. Oh, and I did have another story also from Fox. Oh, nope. Another story from USA Today it is from June 7th, because I forgot to do it on the most recent Aftershow. Do we really need $1 million in retirement savings? Not even close, one top economist said. A top economist. And this is what I often say this about the calculator. There is no risk button on that calculator. So you have to judge that for yourself even after you run the numbers. But let's see, if you want to retire in comfort, investment firms and news headlines tell us you may need $1 million in the bank, or maybe not. One prominent economist says you can retire for a lot less, $50,000 to $100,000 in total savings. He points to his experience of actual retirees as evidence. Well, that's probably going to be a lot dependent on, I'm guessing, Social Security. If you have a bunch of Social Security coming in. So, but I mean, $50,000 is only going to generate $5,000 a year. And so that's hardly anything for the whole year. So let's see. Retire with nowhere near that. Financial advisor tell you to save 10 times your annual salary for retirement. Enough cash you can live on 4% of the balance for a year. And I think these people think that Dave is crazy for saying if it makes 10, you can take out 8. And I think these people are crazy for assuming that you can live on 4%. So they have no idea what the inflation is going to be like, what things are going to cost by the time you retire. So you keep saying an arbitrary number of 4% is ridiculous. And one Riley reported survey, Americans said they would need 1.46 million. Oh, okay. So people think you need more. Let's see. But most retirees say they're doing just fine. Thank you. Well, let's see. I wonder how many. How many? Didn't say how many. 65 to 74, how well they were managing financially. A majority, roughly 85%, said they were just fine. They were living comfortably or at least doing okay. 15% said they were struggling, okay? And some of them likely didn't admit it, even if they were struggling. Let's see. Reported a satisfactory, again, retirement had $50,000. $50,000 in retirement, again, generates, on average, $5,000 a year. I mean, you know, you may not need that much if you have a house paid for already, and you keep the rest of the stuff to a minimum. But if you got a lot in Social Security coming in, and if it will be coming in at the rate that it's going out now, but they're probably going to have to rein that in a bit, and they'll start taking more out from people today to pay for yesterday's promises. let's say the average couple who retired in 2022 reaped nearly $46,000 in annual Social Security benefits. Well, that's almost hardly extravagant, right? Yeah, I mean, and that's fine if you have a paid off house and you're not making any debt payments. Then that's probably fine. You probably can live off of that. But again, that does depend on you, again, having the paid off house so you don't have a mortgage, because a mortgage coming out of that is going to be a big chunk. Mortgage do take a bite, don't you? And in style, let's see about in style. What about divorces in later life, etc.? Yeah, rising healthcare costs. Yeah, there's there's going to be stuff, but I like the points that I made, obviously. You don't want to say I really screwed up. Well, if you've really screwed up, it's healthy to say that you really screwed up. It is very healthy to see reality and then embrace it, is my advice always. Why then did only 15% of seniors in the federal survey cited by big say they were struggling? I think so many retirees are reluctant to discuss their financial problems in surveys. Yes, dude. That's exactly what I said. You don't want to say I really screwed up, right? Right. Let's see what else we got. Anything? How much retirement savings to retire actually have? The typical senior with a retirement account has about $200,000 saved. Okay, data for households in the 65 to 74 age from 2022 survey of consumer finances. So, I mean, that's not everybody. That's their survey. Only half of those households report having retirement accounts at all. So, how is that a thing if they don't have any? Now, as they only ask, no, just retirement age, they ask them. And 85% said they were fine, even though half of them don't have anything in retirement. Okay, so, so I'm going to take issue with that, obviously. All right, interesting to read, though. All right, let's do some questions. Oh, and of course, I forgot to go to the right question. That's okay. You guys got time. What else can I kind of tell a little story? Let me see if I can think about a fun story. Looking at some of these titles, these will be fun things to talk about in the future. And I am only going to be doing like 26 more minutes today and probably the weekend. There's a Friday Aftershow show at 4 p.m. Eastern, and Friday and Saturday. Nope, Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern time will be an Aftershow show, and Saturday and Sunday are the Answering Your Financial Questions shows, and so those may only be an hour each as well on the weekend, since be running out of questions with so many shows. All right. It's here somewhere. Some mutual funds purchased. Did I do that working multiple jobs? Yes. Urgent fund to cash flow. Yeah, didn't do that. But I remember the computer thing. Paying off debt versus stacking cash. The kid that's saving it. The kids love to call it stacking cash or cash stuffing instead of the envelope system. The kids like to have their own names for things. What should my grocery budget be? As little as possible is how you do it if you're on steps 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I did talk about this with 3 dogs. I think, did I? Michael said I was dumb and should have put it into stocks. You should be should be investing 15%. Not in the stocks, manage mutual funds for retirement. Should be doing 15% while you are also paying off the house. You're paying it off early and not making that a priority over investing, which you would not be doing. Let's see, bill for school. No, maybe I haven't done these. I'm on the most expensive way to buy a house. Yeah, I did talk about that one. Did I talk about that? I don't think I did talk about this. Love donkey butts, all right? Ramsey Coaching Guys, is anyone invested in trying to become a Ramsey coach? Yes, me. I'm looking for a side hustle to supplement my income. Now, you have to be in a position where you meet new people all day long, that kind of thing. If you're doing it on your own, meaning you're not paying Dave for references and such like that, you have to be meeting people constantly, because most people, like when you meet them, when you talk to them for the first time, they may not need you then, or they may not be ready to hire you at that point, because they don't think they need your services. And then later maybe they remember you and then hire you. And so you have to be running into people nonstop. And if you're one of those people that's very sociable and you're always out in the world instead of being an indoor cat like I am, then I mean it's difficult. I mean, you can do it certainly if you put nothing more, you just put effort into it for 18 hours a day, 16 hours a day, something like that. You can get it off the ground, and you can do that and have that be your full-time job. But I was not in a position where I do that. I don't. My answer was to go on to the YouTube, and that puts me in front of a bunch more people, and I have gotten clients like that, but it's nowhere near enough to be a full-time job. At least not yet. Maybe with the YouTube bringing in money now, perhaps that will be at some point. That would be fabulous. So yes, make that happen, everybody. Maybe even like $1,000 per month. But yeah, I mean, even that. I mean, that's gonna take a while to set that up where you get that much clientele that could happen. Enjoy finances and feel like for me becoming a Ramsey coach could be something that would be flexible enough for me to make a decent income with. Yeah, but it's not like Uber where all you got to do is drive people around. You also have to. So if you want to compare it to Uber, which I do want to do because I thought of it apparently. That would mean that you are also going in Uber and you are just driving around the street seeing if people need rides. You're going, need a ride? Need a ride? There's no app involved. Do you need a ride? That would be the equivalent of that. And so, because that's how you do that. Because I mean, nobody else is going to hear of you unless they search for you online and find your exact website. I don't even have a website. I don't even invest in a website. I'm just my website is basically my YouTube channel. If you have, how much money do you make and how difficult is it to find work? Yeah, it's not a lot. In my situation, again, it depends. If you constantly run into people, that will help you because that's many more opportunities to find clients. And of course, friends of friends, that kind of thing. Friends of family, etc., etc. So, but if you don't have a huge family and you're not very sociable and always out in public all the time and meeting people constantly, it can take a bit to get that off the ground. My main job has erratic hours, so I need something I can squeeze in here and there for extra money. Yeah, if not this, let me know what ideas you have. Thanks. Yeah, so that's not a thing where you can like fit it into, I only have it for this much time, because like I said before, if you're limited to a couple hours, that's not, again, like Uber where you can go, and that would be perfect for you with your erratic hours, because that means you can do it. You can be an Uber driver whenever you want to. You can just say, I'm available now, and that's it. And saying I'm available now and then expecting a financial coaching client to come to you That's not going to happen. So when you are just, being available for just a few hours a day, that kind of thing. All right, but good luck. As far as anything else, like I said, Uber would probably be the best because erratic hours, you can't really work for another store because they have to make any kind of retail or something like that because they have to make a schedule, and so you can't have erratic hours that way unless you're doing it in like when your main job is completely closed, you can do it in those hours. But retail for that, fast food, and of course the old standby delivery. Stanley the Manly 44, how to shop around for mortgage. I better shop around. My mama told me you better shop. I finally saved up for enough for a down payment on a house after listening to Dave, MMM, Ben Felix, etc. I don't know MMM and Ben Felix. All right, they're not mentioning Money Guy, which I think is still the Money Guy show, but everybody calls them the Money Guys for some reason. What's the Caleb Hammer? No love for them. Just MMM and Ben Felix. I'm a first-time home buyer and feel lost in the process. I have recommendations from my realtor, but I'm not even totally sure what to ask. They all keep giving me estimated monthly payments to determine how much I want to be approved for, but it all feels very vague. Should I just start asking more specific rates? Questions like rates, fees, etc. What else should I ask? Well, what you do is you Google or YouTube search Dave Ramsey mortgage, and you see what his guidelines are, and that's going to be where a 15-year fixed mortgage, where the payment is going to be around a quarter percent of your take-home pay on a 15-year fix. And so if it's not, then that means you're buying too much house. And so let's see, they'll keep giving me estimated monthly payments. Right. And so none of them at all, the realtor and also the lender, none of them have any reason whatsoever to suggest that you get a 15-year mortgage. You know why? They make more money. The lender makes more money if you have a 30-year mortgage. And guess what? Most people that have a 30-year mortgage, they can get qualified for a larger amount, and then that puts more money in the realtor's pocket as well. So you're on your own for this part to keep that down. I don't know necessarily any realtor, maybe a Ramsey pro. Some of the realtors that have been vetted by Ramsey, maybe they would do that, hopefully. But other than that, just any realtor is not going to be worried about keeping you to a 15-year fixed mortgage. So you need to learn about it yourself, sounds like to me. And you can, like I said, you can just Google or especially YouTube, because there's tons of videos on it, clips from the show, etc. YouTube search Dave Ramsey and any topic you want to, but in this case, Dave Ramsey mortgage. And listen to every single word he says. Take notes if you have to. And then you'll probably know all about it. There'll probably be very few questions. And if you have questions, then you would know what the questions are, and then you can search those. Anime Theo, all right. Paying into the principal. Much better than paying into the vice principal. I'm a 29 man, single, about 1.5 years into a 30-year mortgage at 5.9%. They love to say all the percents all the time. I guess some financial people may care about it. We don't care here at the Ramsey world, Ramseyverse. I put 20% on a $313,000 house and have been originally putting 20 and have been so far putting maybe $200 in the principal. Oh, and now I'm putting previously is the word that Anime Theo was looking for, not originally. Now putting $600 extra per month. equals $2,400. No other debts, and putting 15% into my retirement. I have an older house. Is this person actually doing everything that you should be doing? My goodness. My goodness. Because normally they'd be like, I'm going to invest more instead of pay off the house, that kind of thing. They always want to improve on the baby steps. I think this person is doing it exactly. Let's just see. Oh, because there's more than will fit on the one thing. That means that it's ripe for conditions that will bring in something that he's doing wrong. Let's see. Of older house, put aside savings for home fixings as they need, and also have renter's income, $1,200. Okay, so you would not have a rental. So, like this rental, if this is come by you not selling the original house, because see, that's where the down payment would come for, or you just buy a newer house in mostly cash to get that mortgage amount down. Also, shouldn't be a 30-year mortgage. Okay, so I missed that part when I was saying he was doing everything right. Okay, so should have known better. Oh well. I set myself up for these. At least I didn't play the Price is Right winning music already. I did that one time. I learned my lesson. So depends on how you came by the renter. If the rental is paid off and you would have had to do that before you started doing Dave's advice, then, well, let's just see. Let's just see if they may not even say, and that's sad when they don't give you the information to know if they are doing it wrong or not. Make a decent amount, anywhere from $80K to $100K, depending on how much overtime I work. I was working on increasing money into the principal and had a conversation with my older uncles about how, if I have a future plan to refinance to a 15-year mortgage once interest rates lower, I should not pay into the principal too fast. No, you should pay a house off as soon as you can. That's how it works. That's the baby steps. So, assuming step 1, 2, and 3 are done, you said you're doing 15%. You should be saving a little bit for kids' college if you have them, and if you want to help them. But then beyond that, all extra money goes to paying off the mortgage, not investing more. You do not invest more while you still have a mortgage. That would be doing it wrong. So trying to change it to a 15-year mortgage, I get it. You can also just pay it like a 15. But of course, the 15-year mortgage, having a 15-year mortgage allows you to do that. You're 1.5 years in. So maybe you wait another 3.5 years and get a 10-year mortgage, and that will make you pay it off in time. How about that? Maybe you'll pay it off even faster. I know Dave is all about aggressively paying it off. I struggle in fully understanding finance at the time, but all my older relatives are doing very well fiscally and are typically conservative in their financing as a principal themselves. My question is this: at what point should you refinance? Is there an interest rate that once it goes that way, say 4% refinance? It depends. You can, that's only 1.9%, so just shy of 2% difference, and you can find out where that break-even point is as far as how much it costs you to refinance, and about of that amount when you will save that much in interest by that time. And so you can compute that, and that's how you would figure that out. Let's see. Or you can just save the refi money and just put that on the house and just pay it off as quick as you can. And if I did refinance, I don't see it happening soon with how interest rates are. Me either. Why does my family not want me to pay more into principal? They want you to invest it, I'm sure. I do know they tend to invest in various things and more low-key. I'm more low-key in that area, just as economics and investments are my specialty, and I don't plan to ever have kids. Okay, no step 5, and so I'm not too worried about money getting used in that way. Okay. Yeah, except for the 30, but you can just pay off the 30 like a 15. And so you would just be putting everything that's extra into that. So depending on what you're doing, but it also depends on this rental. If you have a mortgage on the rental, that's a problem. If you have a mortgage on both, that's a problem. If you own the rental outright, that's a problem too. You can keep it and you'll be fine. But if you had it and called Dave, it depends on the exact situation and how fast you can pay everything off. But generally, the advice would be to sell the rental and to get that older house paid off, and then save cash to buy another rental if you insist on being a landlord. One of those words. Right. Mute AC bill for school. If my school hasn't sent a letter for the bill, what can I do? Can I still apply and tell no one about this, or are they going to bill me later? What? Can you apply for what? If my school hasn't sent a letter for the bill, what can I do? Can I still apply? Apply for what? All right. I'm just curious about what it could possibly be. They're going to bill you later. If you don't know the terms of your payment plan, call the school and find out. You're likely to, what is it talking about apply for? You're supposed to log into your portal, pay there. Call them. Oh, that's for class. That's not a student loan. Okay. Can I still apply? They wouldn't be charging you for school if you hadn't applied to it. That's what I'm missing. I don't understand. I can't say no the specific of what you mean, but if you would owe them money, they can bill you. Yeah, I don't get it. And so I was talking about this today. Sometimes people say things in a way that I have no idea what their situation is, and or how they think. People go around their elbow to get to their face instead of just going like that. Illogical. A lot of people. Let's see. Oh, it's locked. That one's locked, baby. I must have gotten contentious. Rate my portfolio. All right. Using it for another 20, 30 years. So this must not be retirement. 30% of net worth, and the other 70 is in index funds like VIEW and QQQM. I just buy in old companies I believe will compound for years. And okay, like Microsoft, Amazon, and all those are fine. It's mutual funds is what the recommendation is, but they would be basically, this would be a good start for large cap. But in the managed funds, you would have, and even indexes. There's a bunch more companies than the top 6, and that way you're not beholden to the top 6. Such as if the top 6, as one of them, falls out of favor. Like say if one of the top 6, just for example, say that one of the top 6 was Blockbuster Video once upon a time. That's not doing so great today, so you wouldn't want to still have them. Interesting. Visa Meta, SME Global, Fair Isaac, Texas Roadhouse, MasterCard, MSCI, Apple. Interesting. Twice as much in Amazon. So this is not nearly enough for proper diversification, but it's just as if you have the whole deal here is, if you are on step 7, if you have a paid for house, knock yourself out. If you have debt with doing this stuff, then that's a negative. Good buddy. So on that all depends. Asperger's are us, a frequent poster on here. Paid off house at 31 years old in 2019. Uncle said I was dumb and should have put it in the stocks. What are your thoughts? Paid off my house early. Wanted the freedom and flexibility. That's fine. I should have thrown it into view and let it grew. I made it rhyme. What are your thoughts here? Did I make a mistake? Mortgage? No, you wouldn't put it into an index fund anyway. If it just depends. If it's for retirement, that'd be in managed funds, and you should be doing that before paying the house off. Yes. But as far as you paid the house off in advance, and so that's something you don't have to do now. So if you have any other debt, let's see, updated my house, put about 97,000 of remodel into it, pumped from 15 to 16% in 457B. Okay, yep, and so that's what you should have been doing all along. Bought a new 2023 Toyota Tacoma. Unless you're a millionaire, you don't buy a new car. And hopefully this is buy and not debt. This year I started a Roth IRA and plan to continue to maximize. If I had a mortgage, I couldn't do all these things right. But you don't have to do all these things then, because you're doing them as you go along. And 6 is the candles on the cake. The gravy on the biscuit. Kind of. And that closes it all out, because generally that's going to cost more than all the rest of the stuff. So, but you would do that stuff as you go along, except not the remodel. The remodel, you would wait until you pay off the mortgage and then remodel it. But 3.375% for 30 years. They cut into 6 years. Okay, and so that's fabulous. But probably should have done at least the 15% and then put everything else into paying off the house. And then it probably still only would have taken 8 years, maybe, something like that, 8 or 9. So, credit card advice. That means don't have them. Next. Advice on credit card. Hello, everyone. Hi, guys. Okay, so this is the part I love. I've been following Dave Ramsey's advice since I was a kid. Why are we asking about credit cards then? Which means I've never had a credit card. Oh, cool, great. So why are we asking about credit cards again? Somebody told this person, you got to have a credit score to buy a house. House, saved around $100K for a house, which we plan to buy within the next 12 months. $15K emergency fund, additional $5 to $10K, various savings accounts, our investments total $85K. We recently bought 2 cars with cash, have no debt whatsoever. Given this situation, should I continue without a credit card? Yes, dude, you're doing it correctly. You're doing it correctly. You can get a house with manual underwriting. You do not need a credit score to buy a house. I'm not even going to look at the rest of it, because that's the only thing it could be about. Kelly can. All right, let's see what Kelly can do. What should my grocery budget be? Yeah, so the 50 per person. If you're rice and beansing it per week. But I lump all my stuff together in one budget item: food, cleaning supplies, and toiletries. That's fine if you can get that down to as low as possible while you're in steps 1, 2, and 3, and that you stick to that budget. So that's fine. A lot of people have to break it out more in order to stick to it. So I should be budgeting for weekly per person in this case. Well, you would, make the dogs count as people. Or if you're going to split their cost between it, it's fine per person. You can still do per person. You can do it however you want. Live in rural Arkansas. Hey, neighbor. So I think I could say I'm on the lower range for cost of living. Sure. Baby step 2 flare there. And that's it. Let's see if there's any extra from the OP. No, I'm not seeing any OP extra. Nope. Oh, there it is. Tried before, it doesn't work for me. What is that? Breaking things out. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Our budget software, something like that. So that's fine. Yeah, you just try to get it as low as possible. You're only buying necessary stuff, and you're not buying expensive-y foods. You're shopping at Walmart or Aldi and not the Whole Foods. or the Air One or anything like that. Alrighty. So once again, I am Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach. So lovely to be with you today. And the next Ramsey Show After Show is on Friday. 2 short days from today. And that'll be at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. As you can see there, upcoming streams. Answering your financial questions is 4 p.m. Eastern Time on both Saturdays and Sundays. And the Ramsey Show After Show, which you just saw, is Friday, June 21st, and also Thursday, July 4th. We'll have a happy Independence Day version of that, and that's approximately 6 p.m. Eastern Time whenever the Ramsey Show ends. And I'm again, Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, and you can schedule a free coaching consultation at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. Cash App is $Coach Steve Money as an alternative for donating. And again, Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com as another alternative. Alrighty, Instagram is Coach Steve Money. I don't do much stuff on there. I should post more things on there, and I will try to start making that a habit. Alrighty, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment, and make smart financial decisions every day.